Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are, a warm greeting to you. Hi, this is Veronica Ocam, and welcome to Childcare 411, where I give you the news that you can use to make the decisions about the best childcare solutions for your family. Today, I'm in the car with my lovely daughter. And here she is right here. And I want to talk a little bit about an interesting article that I saw about a company in South Korea stepping up to help with their crisis of low child birth rates. Okay, so the reason why I want to talk about this a little bit today is because when I think about childcare, when we think about childcare and how to make it affordable, it is almost impossible to do that without it impacting everyone, and without everyone seeing it as important enough to be a part of the solution. So it's not just the government figuring out a magical way to make childcare affordable for everyone, but it's going to take the entire village. And honestly, I think the corporate sector bears some responsibility, and let me tell you why. There wouldn't be an issue if we had different policies in the workplace that were more supportive of employees who have children, particularly children who are preschool age. So this whole issue of childcare would not be an issue, or well, let me just say it would be less of an issue if there were more flexibility or more support for parents of young children. And let me give you an example. Daycare, preschool, they have restrictions about when your child can be present to receive care that has to do with their health/medical conditions or whatever. So if your child was at grandma's house or at the cookout over the weekend and they picked up a cold and a slight fever, guess who cannot go to childcare? Guess who can't go to daycare on Monday? Which means guess who else cannot go to work on Monday? Which means guess who might be having a conversation with their boss if they missed 2 or 3 days in the past quarter because their child could not go to daycare and therefore they could not go to work. So you see, the policies are not there to support working parents of young children because obviously daycares, childcare centers, they have to have those rules in place because they care for a lot of kids, and it becomes a safety/health situation if they allow sick children who have active viruses to come in the midst of other children. So the reason why I brought up South Korea is because apparently they're having a birth crisis. Not enough people are having kids. And so this company has decided to be a part of the solution by offering, I think was it 100 million won to their employees to help them with the cost of having another child. And that is a company who is taking social responsibility and helping out where they can. Now, I don't know anything about this company. I don't know where this 100 million won is coming from. And I looked it up because I'm like, that sounds like a lot of money. And it actually is. It's like 75,000 US dollars. So imagine if U.S. companies were willing to put some kind of financial support behind their parents of young children so that they could have the extra financial support to take care of childcare costs. Now, some people might say, well, it's your children. Why should your company help you pay for childcare? You had the kids, so you need to figure it out. Well, that may be true. That's a perspective. Let me not say it may be true. It is a perspective, and it may be a valid perspective. But guess what? Companies make the exceptions for what they want to make exceptions for. For instance, many companies offer benefits for you to go back to school and get a degree, a college degree. Is it their responsibility to educate you? Maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe they should just find someone who has the education that's necessary for the job that they want to hire for. Why do they have to pay for someone's education? Why not just hire someone who has already made that investment in themselves? Is that not the same thing? I would say it is. Example number 2. A lot of companies will help you pay off your college loan. College loans, debt from college, etc., etc. Now, this used to not be a thing, as we know, but it is a thing now to attract the younger employees to get the talent in the door. Is it your company's responsibility to pay off your student loans? Did they tell you to take loans? Did they tell you to go to a very expensive college? Did they tell you to major in something that was not going to give you a return so that you could be able to pay your loans back? No, they didn't. But they see this as an opportunity for them to gain the talent that they want to have in their organizations. Why is it such a stretch for companies to say, you know what, if you have children, preschool age children, we will give you a credit or a voucher or a whatever towards childcare? Why would they not do that? Especially if it is a company that has roles that are primarily filled by women of childbearing age. Why not? So that leads me to believe that we really don't care about solving this problem. We don't, for whatever reason. Maybe there is some agenda in corporate America saying, hey, we don't even want people to have more kids. We think the planet is already overpopulated. Why should we subsidize people having more kids? Why should we make it easier or better for people to have more kids? We think there's too many kids anyway. And the ones that are here are awful. We don't need any more. How do we know that that's not a conversation going on behind closed doors? It could be. But I can tell you this. Everybody who's talking about affordable quality childcare, not everybody. I'm sorry, not everybody. But a lot of voices that you hear, they don't care. They have something to gain from having the conversation about it, but nothing to gain by actually doing something about it. So just be aware and think about ways that this issue can be addressed outside of depending on the government and depending on corporate America, because the way we do things in the United States is that anything the government does, there's going to be some kind of income cap related to it. So if you're in the middle income range, it's probably not going to even help you. So that still is going to leave you with having to think about, how can I structure my life choices in a way that I'm able to grow my family and be able to afford it. And I for some people, they're choosing not to have a family. That's on them. I mean, that's a whole other conversation. But for those of you who have a desire to raise a family, to make the sacrifices that are necessary to invest in our future, which is what children are. They are an investment in our future for everybody. Because if we don't have any children, then what happens 20 years from now when you need service workers, when you need other human beings running the world? What happens in 50 years when that is needed and we don't have anybody? So sometimes I think that we're so focused on ourselves that we just have lost any sense of just community, a sense of community, and thinking beyond just today. So again, that's just a perspective. Some people think that it's selfish to think of legacy or to want to have children, but that's what they think. And if you think that way, it probably is good for you to remain child free, as long as you don't start hating kids, because that's bad. And there are a lot of people who are child free by choice who love children, and they have their reasons. They have their reasons for being child free. Sometimes it's not just that someone is being selfish. Sometimes there are a lot of other issues that they're not going to talk about publicly, but they are issues that make it very valid for them to decide that that is a choice that they want to make. Anyway, what I will leave you with is the thought around, when is the last time your employer has said anything about supporting employees who have young children? What have they done with their policies? What have they done with time off requests? What kind of reprimands have they given for parents? Or maybe I shouldn't say reprimands. What kind of support, I guess, have they given around having to miss work for childcare? It's an interesting thing, because obviously you need workers in order for your business to be profitable. If you don't have anyone there doing the work, then your business will lose out on profit, which means that eventually you won't have a business anymore. So it's kind of in the best interest of the corporation to not support working parent situations, and to weed out parents who have young children, because it's just not profitable. And I think we should just start saying that. Either that or make some changes to support families. Okay. This wasn't supposed to be a rant, but when I saw that article, it just made me think about a lot of things that I think we need to think about. So if you are in a position of authority in your own corporation or in your own business, think about what you can do to be part of a solution that is impacting our country. And where can you find in your budget to make a sacrifice, to show that goodwill, to give back to your community in the way of supporting parents who have children who need childcare in order to go and work for you. All right. Well, let me know what your thoughts are. Am I going too far? Am I being silly or naive? Or do you agree with me? Leave your comments and let me know if I missed anything and what your thoughts are. All right. Until next time. Bye.